G'day, welcome to Perth WAtch, your horology channel broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I am taking it back to the budgets. This is a piece from Cadisen. Spinability of the box, not the most fantastic. It's probably only about a 2 out of 5 because it's a little bit grippy here. Now Cadisen have done quite a few watches that I have featured in the channel. Some of the videos have been quite popular actually, so take a look at the links I'll insert here for your viewing pleasure. So this particular piece comes in this box. I think I haven't quite seen this exact box before, but anyway, magnetic closure, warranty, there's a manual which is multi-caliber. You don't actually need to read it. There's a warranty cardboard which you can fill in and feel good that you have a card which in all likelihood, however, does not work, will not work. But let me know if you have any success. In here, the spare links, and they actually include the screwdriver. Actually is functional with this particular screw link. So nice little inclusion. Not the best quality, but I did actually use it to change the links out, so it actually functions. So showing you guys the watch in closer detail here. This is the Cadisen Oyster Explorer Tiffany Blue. That's what I'm going to call it. They call it the C8213M, but I reckon this is the Oyster Explorer in Tiffany Blue version here. 90 USD or just under that, as you see on sales on AliExpress. So pretty darn good, pretty sharp on the value. All links below if you want to check it out on the interwebs here. All right, first up, as I usually do, let's just put some movement details here. So guys, this is none other than, you guessed it, the Seiko NH35A. Unfortunately, they have put in an NH35A and not a no date version. So there is a ghost date position. There is actually a wheel that has been left in there. So you can actually feel that clicking through in the one position here. In use, it's actually not bad. It's well within the rated accuracy of -20 +40. This is running about +8 seconds per day in the roughly 1 week I've had it running. Okay, case details, I put it on the screen just now. You can pause it and look at it, but I will show you the thickness, which I appreciate always looking at the side profile. It is only 11.8 millimeters thick, so they have actually managed to keep it pretty sweetly thin. I do appreciate that quite a lot. Finishing wise is as per the Explorer. It's got a polished conical bezel here, long brushing at the top, mirror polish at the sides. Right, that's exactly as per Rolex. I think the OP and the Explorer is pretty much the same type of finishing. Circular brushing at the back, and of course you see that Rolex boring style screw down Oyster case back. Right, it's got a screw down crown, which has a Cadisen sign there, and the rated accuracy, or the rated water rating I should say, is 100 meters, which is exactly what an Explorer type watch should have. In terms of the dial, and moving on to this rather nice looking dial here, which is of course a total knockoff from Rolex. This is what they call the Tiffany Blue. I think Rolex call it turquoise blue. I don't know whether there's actually any collaboration, but a lot of people call this the Tiffany Blue lacquer dial, right? It's lacquer-like. I doubt they actually put multiple hand layers finishing this dial here like Rolex does. It's got a stamped logo at the 12 o'clock position and 11 applied indices that you can see there. The hands are simple baton hands. Now this is obviously more towards the OP hands rather than the Mercedes hands that an Explorer watch would have. It's got a simple stick seconds, and there's lume on the two main hands as well as the 11 index marks here. A lume shot, of course, for you guys to see how it looks like in the dark. Okay, moving on from the dial then. So above the dial is a flat sapphire crystal. It's got some anti-reflective coating, I think, but it's not perfect by any means. You can see there. Okay, flat sapphire as per Rolex. And then moving on from the case, we have the bracelet, which is 3-piece per link, Oyster style bracelet, finished as per the original, brush on the top surface and then polish on the side. It's got solid endings, and obviously you saw the screw links, which work pretty well. The fit of the screws are pretty well pretty good on this particular watch. You know, no kind of stickiness or, you know, high friction or very loose screws. They've actually done a pretty good job. The bracelet tapers from 20 to 16 millimeters, and this clasp is 18.5 millimeters wide. Pretty solid, right? It is actually pretty solid, but the fit and finish of the clasp is probably the worst part of the watch here, right? It does have a oyster lock style, right, with this steel keeper here, and it does have micro adjustment here. So I'm just gonna show you, so you can see that 5 millimeter glide lock extension, they call it, and then inside the clasp there, hopefully you can see that there are actually adjustment spots. You do need a tool to loosen that and move that up and down, but it's cool that they've actually built that in there. So I'm just gonna kind of put this oyster lock or glide lock, okay, extension in there. So that gives you about 5 millimeter extension. All right, that's the entire description. Let's flip it on the wrist for a wrist shot for you guys, and there we have it. Pretty well done, you know. Remember, less than 12 millimeters high, only 45 millimeter lug to lug, which fits, you know, just about every single guy I've ever met, I reckon. You know, that Tiffany blue down here reflecting the light, and of course that oyster clasp, oyster lock bracelet that you can see there. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's the description of the watch. What have I enjoyed about this? What is good about this? Well, look, I think it's pretty nicely done, you know. I guess you can call it a hybrid Explorer Oyster Perpetual 36 millimeter homage. Okay, so it's got the Explorer numerals, no question, right? The 369, that's straight from the Explorer. It's got the bracelet that's from the Explorer. Like the OP doesn't have the, you know, the extension here, doesn't have this lock here. It's got more a simple oyster clasp. But the hands are from the OP, and the dial color is definitely from the OP range. So it is very much a hybrid. And I think the elements that they've chosen is interesting. I would have liked to see a Mercedes hands here, so much more towards the Explorer side. But, you know, that's what they've gone for. So it's not a complete knockoff of one of them. It's a bit of a mashup, if you will. And, you know, at $90 or just under $90, it is simply the value king of this area, right? I mean, you know, Pagani, no skin off their back. You know, they are the leaders in terms of doing it first, but a lot of these smaller brands are catching up with their, you know, slightly different take on, you know, these particular homages. And I think for that price, you know, they're giving very good fit and finish. This bracelet is not bad at all, and the case is not bad at all for 90. I think pretty darn good and probably hard to beat. I think the only problem is this class, which I'll go into in a little bit. Overall, the specs, you know, that's what you expect. You're getting a Seiko NH35, you're getting sapphire, you're getting actually screw links, which are pretty well done, and a solid, more machine type of class rather than any, you know, metal stamping. So pretty darn good and very difficult to ask for more, I think. In terms of weaknesses, nothing much to say really. You know, I think the class fit, as I said, can be better. The finishing can be better. It doesn't feel the best. And, you know, for example, this part here, hopefully the camera captures it. It's really a bit rough, you know, some edges. This edge here is a little bit sharp. It can be, you know, a bit more refined. So just very, very minor little gripe there on the class. And then the main thing, of course, with a watch like this is that it's an homage, right? It's, some people would say it's a knockoff. It's not really. I mean, yes, I joke with that term being a bit facetious there, but look, it's an homage, and homage design is not for everyone. If you don't like homages of other famous watches, then, you know, you wouldn't get a watch like this. So there you go, guys. My thoughts on the Cadisen C8213 Oyster Explorer Tiffany Blue hybrid watch. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thank you for joining me. I'll catch you guys next time.